Today we will create ending balance calculator. So first we create the form, and then we have three buttons here. We're going to focus on the button calculate. So first we need to double click on it, and then we need to declare three variables. So the first one is going to be constant, and then we're going to name that one interest, and then we're going to say equal 0.005, and then we put m at the end, and then semicolon. So as you see here, when we declare a constant, we need to put the data type. So since we're dealing with money, then we need to use decimal. So we're going to use decimal since we are dealing with money. And always with decimal data type, we need to put m at the end of the number. So with constant, we need to declare the variable and the data type of the variable. And then if we use decimal, then we need to put m at the end of the number. This is the rule. So this one will hold the interest rate for this program. And then we need local variables now. So we need a balance variable. So that's going to be also decimal. I'm going to name it balance. And then that's it. We just declare it. So to declare a variable in C#, we need the data type and the variable. And then we need another one for months. So this one is going to hold this value here. Whatever the user enters here is going to be held by this variable. And then, as I said, another variable for months. But since we're dealing with like whole numbers, we don't need to use decimal numbers. So we're going to use integer instead of decimal. And then we're gonna name it months. And that's it. Also, for the while loop, we're going to use a loop. It's called while loop. So we need to declare that one as well for bit count. So we need integer count. So this one will count using the while loop from 1 to whatever the number the user enters. So since we finished declaring all these variables, the important stuff, let's make some space here. And then we're going to use the if else. So if and then we use else. So as you see here that we already made the shape for this one. Then what we're gonna do here, so the if else here will test if the user enters here a number. So if the user enters a letter, then an error will show up. So here we're going to use if else, and the if we're going to use decimal data type because we are going to work first with balance. Okay, so we need to use the same data type here. Balance. Here the balance is decimal. So here we're gonna say decimal as well. Dot try parse, and then we open these parentheses, and then here we say. Now we're gonna call this, as you see, this text box. What is the name of the text box? Starting balance. Okay. So we're gonna go back here and say starting balance. It is a text box, so starting balance dot text, and then we put comma here, and then we type out, and then we need balance. Okay, so that way the if will try this because we have try parse. So this one will try if the user enters in the starting balance dot text. This one, starting balance dot text, because it is text box. Test the user's entry. So if this one is a number decimal, then the out means output this variable. So this one is the same as this. If the user entry is a number, then it will be stored in balance. Okay, so the out means output, and then here we put a comma. We don't forget about this. Okay, now we need to test for months as well. So we're gonna have another if inside the first if. Okay, and then we do the same thing here, and then another else. Okay, so as you see here, we have this if, this else, and this if, this else. Inside this one, what is the data type of month? The data type of months is integer. So here we're gonna type int dot try parse, okay, to try if the user enters an integer number, not a letter or any other character. So this one will be for months. So we're gonna call month number dot text. So how do I know? Because here in this text box we have the name month number. Okay, we go back dot text. So we're gonna put a comma, and as I told you, out means to output, where we want to store this value when the user enter in this text box a number. We're gonna store it where? I'm gonna output this to months. This one. I'm gonna output that one to months. So that way, let's save the program. That way, we're going to test first this one. If the first box is wrong, then it will jump right away to this one, and then we're gonna put a statement here later on. But if it is correct, then it will test the other one. It will test the other text box, this one, to see if the user enters the correct value in it. So after that, we're going to use the while loop here. So the while loop will be like while so what we need to do. The while loop means as long as, okay, so count, as long as count less than or equal months, equal months. So as you see here, while means as long as count less than or equal months. Then we need a statement for while here. So these curly brackets is for putting a statement for the loop that we're going to use. So as I say that while as long as count, this one, is less than months, okay, then do something. So what we want to do is balance equal balance plus interest times balance, okay, and then we close this statement. So this statement is inside where? It's inside while, okay. So as you see, this one is black because it is a constant. It's not like just a local variable that we declared. No, this is constant that we don't want to change it. It's gonna stay constant, not to be changed. So the balance is what? The balance is the interest times balance. So whatever the user enters in the text box is gonna be time the interest. And then, so the user enters, for example, 2000. So here's going to be 2000 plus, how do we get the interest? By multiplying this number by the user's entry and add it to the user's entry itself, okay? Now we're going to show that value that the user enters, okay? I mean the result. So we say LBL output. What is this? Dot text. So what is this LBL output dot text? We got it from this, okay? So this is a label. This is not a text box like this. It's different. So the label, we're gonna use it here just to show the result. When the user enters the number here and here, the program will do all the calculations and then display the result here. So if we just one click on it, not double click, and See the name says LBL output. Okay, so we go back here to the code editor, and we see that we called the label. Okay, so we say equal. This equal does not mean like the equal, just equal. It means assign, to assign a value or something to this. Okay, so in programming, whatever number on this side, on the right, to be assigned to the left. Okay, that's why we first type this one, and then we type the value that we want to be stored in that one. So we say, for example, balance dot. So what we're gonna show on the label, we're gonna show the balance, this one. So this one got all the calculations here and stored inside this, just this only. And then after that, how do we show that value to the public, like to the user when he want to see the result? We're gonna show it on the label, as we said, and then we call this one because it has all the values in it, and then we say dot to string. Why we use that one, to string? Why do we use that one? Because in programming, everything here is a text, and the math is done by doing the try parse or the parse itself. That's why it's turning the strings that the user enter here. So everything you enter by keyboard is a string. It's not like a real number. But when it comes here, when you do like call all the methods and stuff to do the math, the program will do it for you. But if you want to display it, then you'll need to convert it back to string. So dot to string means to convert this one that we already did the math on to string. And this is a function, so we always put this parenthesis. And if you want to show it in $sign, you just need to put C inside the double quotes. Okay, so that's going to show a number with the $sign. So that's going to be for currency, C, currency. Okay, so else, now we're going to go back to else, to the two else's here. So the first else, this one, is for this if. So as you see, when you highlight it, it will highlight the other one. Okay, so this if is for this else. What we need from this? So if the entry was here, like the user did not enter a number, maybe he entered a letter or any character, for example, at, instead of a number, you just want to mess the program, the else will work. So if the user enter a character here, then we're gonna say, hey, leave this part and jump directly to else. Message box dot show, and then put semicolon at the end. And here between the two codes, we type anything we want to show to the user. For example, we say, hey, this is wrong number for months. Okay. And for this else, this is for this one. So what we have here, balance. So we're gonna say, hey, message box. So if the user entered like instead of number, a letter or anything, we say that if the user enters a letter, it will jump right away to the error message that we're gonna put here. We can put anything inside, but just to be clear, I'm going to use, hey, wrong number for balance. Okay, so this works just like an error catcher. Now if we want to test the program, let's see, we hit start on the top, and as you see here that we have two text boxes. This one cannot be like used, we cannot type anything here. So after we finished everything, I would like to go back here and show you that we forgot something here. You need to just make space, and then what we need here, we need count plus equal 1 and then semicolon. So what does this one do? This one will prevent the infinite loop. So without this one, the program will keep executing for non-stop. So this one will help the program to have an ending point. So if you don't put this one, the program will have infinite loop. It will never stop unless you stop it by yourself. But for example, this one will be helpful to start the program. Let's try to start. Let's put, for example, 1500 and then 5 months and then calculate. So as you see here, that the program works great. It has an ending balance of 1537 and 88 cents. So that's it. This is the program for today. If you want to buy this code, go to servepay.net to buy this code just to support our channel. And if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. We need your support and it is much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching and see you in another episode.